Chelsea have made yet another signing. This one is another one from Brighton Hove Albion for relatively big money. 22-year-old Brazilian forward Joao Pedro looks to be en route to becoming Chelsea's latest asset for a fee upwards of the 50 million mark. That sparkling asset is who we'll be discussing today in relation to Enzo Maresca's mastermind system. So on Sunday the 29th of June, David Ornstein exclusively announced that Joao Pedro would be joining Chelsea with a price tag in excess of 50 million. Now a lot of people have shared mixed opinions on this. There's some that voice their frustrations at Chelsea's spending, and then there's some who actually rate the signing. I'm within that second pool. But it's important for Chelsea that with this signing they clear up the space by ridding the likes of João Felix, Christopher Nkunku, Armando Broja, Datro Fofana, etc, etc. Else you'll have a pretty endless pool of unhappy figures wanting game time, making the life of the manager unnecessarily more difficult. But Joao Pedro is a technically gifted, sharp, physically challenging, talented, ball-carrying tricky forward who's played as a 10, left winger, right winger and striker within his career, but his best position and role is as a number 10, or a striker that's allowed to drop in deep and influence the play. He isn't an out-and-out striker by no means, proven statistically, averaging pretty high for touches per 90 in the middle third, and then averaging high for carries, passing stats, successful take-ons, whilst providing himself as a threat high up too, with 5.91 progressive passes received per 90. Pedro excels within picking up the ball deeper within the central spaces, then driving forwards with it himself. His touch, bringing it down or to his feet, is exceptional. His close ball control is all very openly oriented, meaning when he gets the ball, he's looking right ahead. When he's got the ball and taking on a man, he makes plenty of touches to keep the ball close. He has a swift and easy change of direction, and the rarer aspect to his skill set that not many players of his mould have is his physical frame. His easy access to turn wherever, supported by his agility, makes it even easier for him to protect the ball, to guard it with that 6'2" size. And then because he knows how to use his size to good effect, that proves he's intelligent, showing know-how in different scenarios despite his young age. He's a highly intelligent yet highly impactful outlet within the team that contains excellent balance to his game. He drops deep, consumes numbers into him, but arrives in the box to score goals too, whilst containing, of course, a creative edge. His weight of pass and composure is superb within this phase. There's a coolness to his game that's not only found in the final third, but within combination play to really progress the ball up the pitch and beat players. Of course, if he's taking on a player or two, or even three, he can use his body to guard the ball, making his ball retention superb, even unbeatable at times, varying from wide spaces to more central ones. This all makes him a very difficult opponent to try and tackle, as he's got that silk and style with the ball at his feet, then that strong build to push you off. If you do beat him physically, then likely you'll be giving a foul away, with Pedro winning 2.12 fouls per 90. Talent wise, he's really got it all. Chelsea have brought in someone to drop in deep, attack the channels, attack from wide, attack the box aerially, link up cleanly, and do a bit of everything. Someone who can even deliver penalties very confidently as well. Someone who can add more goals into the team. So let's have a look and turn around as to how he can do that in a starting 11. So as you can see, we've got a version of Chelsea's starting 11, and as you can see, we've got Joao Pedro within it. Now of course this won't be the final starting 11, there's so many players within Chelsea's squad that could be in here, such as bynoe-gittens, such as Andre Santos. There's a lot of players to talk about essentially. But you may be wondering, what's Cole Palmer doing on the right and what's Joao Pedro doing on the left? Well, Enzo Maresca within pre-season has been experimenting a little bit. We've seen a two-striker shape, and I'm going to show you that. So Joao Pedro from the left has been Pedro Neto in pre-season, will join Liam Delap. Now this is a front two that complement each other fantastically. You've got Liam Delap who excels in large spaces, who can box attack, whose movement is incredible in terms of finding space, in terms of timings, And then you've got somebody who can drop in deep, who can link up with the striker, who can do pretty much absolutely anything in terms of dropping in deep and taking the ball forwards. And then this shifts into a bit of a 2-4-2-2 like shape, to say the least. I don't know why that took me a while to get out, but Reece James and Cucurella push within here and maybe even here as the centre backs just push up a little bit. I think there's tremendous balance here. I think you can really dictate, but out of possession, you can really be aggressive within the counter press. You've got 4 players here who are very good at winning duels and winning the ball back, and then you've got a really good front 4. Cole Palmer can drop in and out and create. Enzo Fernandez can box crash. You've got Joao Pedro who can drop in and out as well. My only concern with this shape is out of possession. If we push everybody back, now Chelsea out of possession set up in a bit of a 4-4-2. Maresca did the same with Leicester. It's a fairly basic formation for most out of possession teams. But if you push everybody back within the shape that we saw on paper, then you get this. The slight problem with this is that Cole Palmer is this deep. Teams can attack down the left because Cole Palmer isn't very good off the ball. He's a very light presser, and for me he's just going to lose concentration here, and he's not the most proactive player out of possession. So teams will attack down this left side and you'll find Reece James with a very heavy workload. So that's my slight issue with that. You can always swap Joao Pedro and Delap to get them in the better spaces, but honestly Joao Pedro is fine out of possession. He's pretty hard working, and if you get him within these spaces on the turnover, he can really carry that ball forwards and really progress the side up the pitch. But Joao Pedro isn't the only piece of business that Chelsea have been doing. I mean, they've been doing a lot of business as always, but the main man is bynoe-gittens that I'll be looking at now. Now, within my recent video on Chelsea, I actually said that I didn't really like the signing of bynoe-gittens. It's not that I don't like him personally, but it's not that I don't think he's a good player. It's just that I think it's a lot of money for somebody who's quite raw. He's had one senior season at the top, and then all of a sudden he's 55 million. It's a lot of money for somebody who I think is actually quite similar to Madueke. Don't get me wrong, Chelsea need that left winger. I think it's a good asset to have. It's just a lot of money and it's a big gamble. But if you have a look at bynoe-gittens within this Chelsea side, we expect it to look a little bit like this on paper. I really do think Cole Palmer could be on the right a lot, Joao Pedro could be on the left, drifting in, but if you want width on that left side, bynoe-gittens is there. I honestly think it's a bit of a 3-2-5 with bynoe-gittens in the side. You can't have a midfield three of Palmer, Pedro and Caicedo. That is a heavy workload for Caicedo to be running about and covering for ultimately 2 very attacking players. But Pedro and Palmer within these half spaces would be huge. They're both hugely technical, they can both drift in and out, they can both create, they can both score goals, and they complement each other fantastically. But if we have a look at the 3-2-5 shape we can achieve from this, it involves Reece James pushing up. Now, we don't see this a lot under Enzo Maresca. Reece James is normally where Fofana is, but I think with Reece James, if you get him into these spaces, ultimately you have a fantastic crosser, and there's good balance within this attack. On the left, you've got somebody speedy who can beat his man, who can run into the box and then create from there. You've got Joao Pedro. We've already talked about Joao Pedro. He's brilliant. You've got Liam Delap who can attack the box, who can attack the channels, who can do this, who can do that. You've got Palmer who can create and just bring that individual quality, that magic. And then Reece James, who's the best crosser within the squad within Palmer. So there's a lot of good here. And then when you look at the counter press with Lavia, Caicedo, Fofana, Colwill, Cucurella, there's a lot of speed there and there's a lot of dual winning nature. Of course, Lavia is a little bit injury prone, so you could also have Andre Santos within this role too. I'm not sure. You could do Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo and Joao Pedro within a midfield. I feel as if Enzo Fernandez is a little bit weaker in terms of chasing back. So I think a midfield of Caicedo and then Lavia and Santos would perfectly complement a box midfield of Joao Pedro and Cole Palmer. Santos is somebody I like a lot. I did a video on him a few months ago and I really think he can partner Caicedo really well, but he's also somebody who can get within these spaces too. Maresca has fantastic balance within this team. There's so many good players. There's so many different systems, different shapes of which he can play. And I'm really impressed that he's experimenting in pre-season. I really like the idea of Joao Pedro and Liam Delap within these spaces because they can both attack the box. And within this 3-2-5 shape, you've got somebody who can be in here, somebody can be here, 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 everywhere. But Palmer and Delap and Joao Pedro are two brilliant players within the core, and then there's a bit of wide threat to add to it. Chelsea could look very promising. A lot of people have jumped on the signing of Joao Pedro thinking Chelsea are greedy, Chelsea are this, they're just signing players for the sake of it. When are they going to learn from Brighton? Well, Caicedo's turned out pretty well, Cucurella's turned out pretty well. Maybe the less said about Sanchez the better, but I think Joao Pedro fits what they need. I think he gives them a flexible option, and I think he's quite similar in a sense to Omar Mamouche of Manchester City. Enzo Maresca has got his flexible Omar Mamouche in his own team. So I think this is a good signing, one that Chelsea fans should be excited about for their attack next season. If you enjoyed today's video, then make sure to smash a like and subscribe to the channel. What do you think of the signing of Joao Pedro and how he's going to do at Chelsea next season? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.